And we're back, and we have a lot to cover today about Splinterlands, about rentals, about peak monsters. We're going to get to it. First of all, as you can see here, we're on a different account. In seasons past, I've been using an account called Funtamed, which was purely 100% rented. Well, this season, I'm taking back one of my old accounts that I was letting someone else play for quite a while because some new big changes. I now wanted to be right in the thick of things. And the big changes are over here in the Events tab. Well, there's a lot of new changes. So, okay, here we are in the Events tab. And the big changes, if you can see, these numbers have changed quite a lot. And the payment method has changed from primarily DEC to now we're seeing the new governance token SPS. And this is going to make a big impact. I want to cover that and how I think it may impact the rental market over here. We're going to go over some Peak Monsters interface changes, talk a little bit about the rental market. I may have some slow internet, so excuse me, I'll pause when that happens. But we have the last season ended about a day ago, so we'll see the what we would call a rental cliff, meaning prices get really, really high at the end of a season and then drop significantly at the beginning of a season. So if you are looking at renting, now is the time. And 24 hours after a season ends, the value of battling are up quite a bit. As you can see here, I've entered three of these large SPS tournaments, and I have actually advanced in two of them, and I did not advance in one of them. So we're going to take a look at that. Also, this SPS is coming from a tournament that recently ended. We can maybe take a look at that one as well. And we're going to hit completed. All right, we're on the completed list, and we'll see this one. It was an alpha, gold, alpha. And I jumped in that one. We're going to go take a look. And I didn't do amazing, but I got 3 wins, which was enough to put me into the top. If we look at the details, the top 32, and there was actually only 17 that entered. This was one of the very first tournaments, so people were just getting used to it. I think more people didn't realize and probably should have joined in. But I got into the second level, got the 500, so I'll be able to use those for the expenses on entering future tournaments and hopefully to get a little bit higher, like the ones I'm in now. So the prizes are significantly higher. So if we could look at some of the old tournaments, maybe if we go back to completed, I'll show you how big of a difference it is. All right, here we are on some of the older tournaments. The entry fee were pretty low, but also the rewards for a similar gold, the reward was 2,000. So still quite a bit, but then you had some that were 129, 22, 220. But the official Splinterlands like weekend tournaments, I'm trying to find some that were like $900, 170, 248. And now the prices on the upcoming tournaments are significantly higher for 10,031. And again, I want to share some of my thoughts on how I think this is going to impact rentals. And we will enter our teams in these upcoming ones as well. So we'll do a few of these, but actually this is a brand new tournament that I haven't started playing. So this one looks to be a little bit more challenging. 32 places. It did take 62 to get into it, so I do have a risk of losing 62, but the reward for just advancing to the next level is going to be 250. And if we look Um, there are 88 people, so it's quite a high risk actually for playing, but I gave it a shot. This is a gold foil team, and I'll show you how I supplemented it by even doing some rentals and stuff like that. So we're going to go into my battles and see who's in this, if I recognize any of these names. There's some pretty high level people. So if you look at the details, I just need to be in the top, what is that, the top 8? Or, yeah, so I just don't need to place top 30% advance, which means let's just hope I don't, um, lose to get last place or bottom 4. That's all. So that's pretty good. I'm not as worried now. So if you want a quick peek at some of the other ones, um, this one I did not make. I think I already showed you this one, right? No, I didn't quite make it to the next round, but I did get 25th place, 4 wins, 7 losses, which is too bad I didn't make it to the next round because that would have been a significant jump. Significant. So I missed out by a little bit, but I did make back out of my 187, I made back to 750. And just to let you know that tournaments do have a bit of a risk because there's an entry fee. Uh, there were 4 people that missed out on any, and so their payment was basically just a donation to the pool. Okay, so we've talked about this. This is huge amounts extra, and especially if you have very hard to get things like alpha cards or gold foil cards, these tournaments become a little easier to get into the payment bracket. A lot easier to get into the payment bracket, which puts less risk on them, which makes rentals for those types of tournaments much more interesting. So, for example, if we log out here and log back in with Gringotts, which is that gold foil, and we go to my cards, we'll see that I am actually renting a decent amount. Some of them I'm renting from my other account, so I don't mind as well paying the rental fee to my other account. Let's look. The tournament that I did that was alpha. We'll click here. Alpha and gold was actually pretty challenging to get, and I had to rent a few out from a lot from my other account, but um, some other cards that I am using for my seasonal battles, I'm renting from the market. So I actually have 24,000 DEC, but I'm paying, well, just on alpha cards, 500 a day. And in total, I'm paying 1,800 DEC a day on my rentals. So on my alphas, what we're really looking at is my summoners, making sure that I have all the summoners, and I didn't. So I had 3 and I am renting 4. And I'm actually renting some from just different users. So because there was another alpha tournament, I really wanted to make sure that I had the black splinter. So I rented, looks like from Neil. So thank you, Neil. And I can go back in here and actually in my rentals just see if you click rent remaining, I have 7 more minutes on some of these cards. So I actually think I want to continue renting some of these cards. Probably not this, well, compare your rentals is an important thing to do. So I want to make sure before I do this that I probably don't need to get the Flamesmith because this one is already in there. So the question is, can I Yeah, I can do that one as well. So we're going to rent him for 2 days. So I'm not renting this person's Ezzy's, and I won't rent this person, but these ones went up in price, so I'm going to continue renting them. Um, and I will continue to rent from myself. That is fine. Um, and I could rent for a little bit cheaper this one. Yeah, but it's from someone else, so I might as well keep renting from myself. But the one that Neil was renting out, I still have for 23 hours, so there's no reason for me to rent those. So I'm just going to grab these ones, do 2 more days of them. And that's what's nice at the beginning of a season is maybe you can rent out and then just come in here and sort by how much time you have left and just renew the ones that are ending soon. So there we go. And now I actually want to go to rent and I want to click on max and I want to see, first of all, it sorts by legendaries first. So if you click here, it will now sort the entire set and I can see if there's anything else that I may be interested in. And I'm going through and I'm also favoriting some of the cards that I know I love playing with, like the Pit Ogre. Um, I think I like playing with it, but this deck has a lot of red cards, so I may not actually play with it a ton. So, did I actually rent these? Did I renew them? Let's just make sure I did. Okay. And then I want to grab this Pit Ogre for 2 days. Done. Okay. And then I'm going to look through, and I really would love a Flame Monkey. Now, what I really should be doing is making sure if there's any gold cards that I want, because there are some gold tournaments coming up, but I have a decent amount of gold cards. So I'm looking through the list over here on this side. I've obviously got a few of these. Um, the ones that I have a lot of, if you look at these numbers, are the more expensive ones. So that's pretty cool. So again, the ones that are already in the count delegated to me from one of my other accounts are over here. So when the cooldown changes, I'll just tell you what I'm planning. When the cooldown changes, I think I'm going to move everything over to one account and then just rent my own cards to me so that I have them on the days I want to play, and then I'm not worried about them on the other days. Um, because there will be probably weeks at a time that I don't play. But each season, I'll try to go in at least for a few days, maybe even at the beginning of a season, is when I'll just focus on playing because the rewards are really good. And I want to share that with you as well. But we're going through and looking at now the price difference here for this gold card is significantly lower. But no one likes Barking Spider that much. So now the Flame Monkey is interesting at 49, and I don't have it, and it's gold. And if we look at the non-gold version, it's 14 versus the 48. So that's not too bad on the gold. We can go in and look at the other versions of this card. 40, so there's two at the lower amount, which isn't too bad, but we're going to give this one a shot for, let's say, 2 days. So we spend our money quite a bit more on the Green Gots account. We're not as thrifty as we were on the Fun Tamed account, but that all kind of comes back to here. I have, do I have another one? No, this is the one I don't have. So I have two diamond level ones. And what do I have coming up? I have a gold alpha tomorrow. So renting for 2 days is good, and that's a silver. So I paid extra to enter this one. I paid a higher fee because I'm not a silver level player. I think that's how that works. I'm not entirely sure. Um, uh, and then I never entered this one. This is from the old account that played. So any of these DEC ones, they entered for me. So, but we can see if there's any upcoming ones. So you can sort here and look at the SPS tournaments and see 335 is a very large amount. And it doesn't start till tomorrow. So I'm going to wait to see how many players enter because it's a much higher risk, I believe. 335, where I may only earn 562. But if I can get to champion, which is not going to happen, it will go down to 140. So that would have been the benefit of me entering to that tournament at the yesterday before the season ended, of course, while I was still champion before they dropped down at the end of a season. So coming back, it's kind of annoying here, just user experience sort of stuff. They should fix that so it stays where you want it to be. So that one may not be possible. These champion ones, this League of Champion one, will also be expensive. So if you're looking at these, in the Wealthy Gambit is probably also something where if you're a champion, it's going to go down in price by a lot. So if I can get to champion in however many days until this happens, the 4th, then it will be a lot less expensive. But it is a high level to get there. So you need 3 million of gold foil to get into this tournament. So there may not actually even be 32 entrants. So when it comes to it, when it gets closer to the 4th, I will likely still enter. So that's an interesting aspect of these gold or alpha tournaments. I'm just reiterating this from previous, but we're looking at our rentals now and finding out what we need. And I don't need any gold foil cards anytime terribly soon. And I also come in here and look for summoners that I may be interested in. Um, the Zentar looks like it's really cheap right now, but I just renewed my rental like an hour ago, which is too bad. So sad. Dang it. It would have been a lot better to get this one at 71, kind of a mistake listing that he could fix, but it's almost half of the price of what I'm renting this one. Okay, so I just shouldn't have done a 2-day rental on that one because at the beginning of a season, prices drop quite a bit. Now, I love the Pyre to go really fast, so it has a fast speed boost, and this one would be a really nice card to get. However, I have a lot of summoners, so we're just going to go ahead and look through. The Prince Julian at 150 would be interested, but I think I'm ready to rent myself the Archmage Arius. Now the cheapest is 430, and I think that I'm going to rent it from my other account to this account, obviously at a discount because I don't want to charge myself full price. So I'll probably rent it, I don't know, something like 200 to myself, and there we go. But we don't have to do that right now. I'm just kind of going through the state of this account and the prices of these dropping like crazy. And actually, if we look here, there at the end of last season, there was just nothing available. And now look how many level 4s are available. Look how many, there's 40 level 4s, and they were all being rented at the end of last season. I think Probably not this 700 one, but I think the rest of them were all being rented. So it's a significant um, drop. These owners were very happy at the end of last season. These owners were probably like, dang it, I could get a lot more. But now they're all sad. All these owners are sad. They're getting nothing for all these cards. And they could continue to play the game and drop prices and drop prices. But maybe just not any renters. All these renters are just going to wait till the end of the season. But I don't understand it completely because the prices will continue to go up. So why not rent now? That's my question. And this happens across the board. There's just tons and tons of cards. Someone should do a study. If we just unclick everything, max cards, there are 8,500 available to rent. At the end of last season, I think it was closer to 3,000. So there's now 5,000 max cards that are just not being rented at all. And I'm guessing some people are lowering their prices. So that's just how it works. The renters complain at the end of a season, and the owners complain at the beginning of a season. But I don't understand why the renters aren't renting right now. Because if we go here to battle and look at the last game, I won 203. Just yesterday, while DEC was kind of recharging, it was like 30 to 40 or maybe 60. And I'm not even at a high capture rate because the person that played before me really um, went far down on their capture rate. So we're going to give it a go here on one of these games to show you what we've got going on. So slow speed is what we're aiming for, which means let's not go red. Where are we going to find some of the best slow speed cards and just in general a good team? So let's not speed it up. Let's not slow down the competitors. And it's 15 mana. So we probably want to go something along this line. So in 15 mana games, we definitely want to use a gold chicken. And the gelatinous cube could be interesting, but the flesh golem is it's decently slow, not crazy slow. Um, the earth elemental also looks interesting. But the Magi Sphinx, if I can pull off doing both of these, it could be pretty interesting. Now we need well, this is going to speed us up. So maybe the Magi Sphinx isn't the best option. And also in the green, we also have the Magi of the Forest, which has a 4 magic attack as well. And it's decently slow. But you know what also could be interesting is the fact that we can use close range up front. So I'm liking this idea of using the Cyclops because it's a lot more health. So are we just going with a 2 attack? That seems dangerous, to be honest. Very dangerous. So I like the idea of using the Magi of the Forest and using the Failed Summoner. So we could actually move that up here and move the chicken towards the end, just so that we don't get... But here's the deal. There's not too many sneak attacks that are slow, but we're still worried about it. So, and we have a great wall with the Flesh Golem and the Failed Summoner. So we're just going to really protect that Magi of the Forest. Put people on either sides of it that can help it. Now, he's hoping that I am attacking with melee quite a bit. And he's attacking with magic, and I have a decent magic buffer, but each time I go and attack this Failed Summoner is not going to be great. And he has a reflecting, which isn't great either. But then when he gets to my Failed Summoner, it may go into my advantage with all the reflecting going on. So we'll see how it goes. Thorns and heal. Dang it. And another heal. This doesn't look good. He's really got this guy protected. And I've got the heal. It's just going to go back and forth, isn't it? And until my guy dies. The guy I tried so hard to protect. And I don't think that I'm going to do pretty well. Because I don't have the ability to heal these guys either. So we're just going to skip to the results where I lose. That was a that was a cool game to watch. Because that was a very unique strategy. Even if I didn't win, I'm just impressed by watching that game. Note that one down. That was a really interesting game. Okay, so we don't need to use an extra mana, so we could use the Xander, or we could use the Shia. And I want the extra mana, or the extra DEC that I can get from the gold cards. So we're going to do that, and it's a 38, which means let's figure out which high-level cards I want to focus on. We're going to do these ones. So that's magic attacks. Let's just see what we want up front. Do we want to protect against their magic? I think we do. And we've got 15 more that we need to spend, which is going to actually be hard. So we're going to have to use this guy and this guy. So the gelatinous cube, obviously in second place. Now we need to up one of these by 3. So what do we do? Maybe what we do is put the goblin mech in the front. It's 2 more points. And then let's take a look at one of these 4s and see if we want to up it to a 5. So the Magi, maybe we can switch with this Magi. Come on. There we go. Now, the other question is, I could have switched one of these other 4s and kept... So I use these filters a lot. So we're going to go back to Magic. We only have 18 seconds left. And for some reason, it's just not clicking. It's not working. There we go. So we got a 3 and a 2, but I'm liking the healing, and so I'm going to stick with them. I could have gotten a higher attack, but I like their abilities. And we've got some magic protection, and I don't have much magic protection. So, but I am protecting myself with silence from the Mushroom Seer. So that will be decent. And these will go down, and I think they were expecting the summoner to actually work for them, and it doesn't. The heal came in handy, and I am stunned, which is really way too bad, and I'm already dead. But one more hit, and he's out, and I'm just hoping that returned fire is going to be just a bummer. And my ability to not heal myself because I'm stunned is a bummer. And almost dead. Dead. Dang it. Another game lost. So really not the best ones to show. Maybe I should just wait to show you a game I actually win. They're winning high amounts of DEC. I wanted to show you me winning a bunch of DEC. Okay, he went with thorns in the back. I went with thorns in the back. And then I went with a fast speed. I put my exploding dwarf, it's just going to be a one-hit wonder, but it's going to take him down a decent amount. But the thorns are going to kill him after the first one. I understand that. But I think it was worth this 7 attack that I'm going to get. And they've got a fast speed, I've got a slow speed, and I got a slow speed on them. So I should have gone first. And then let's do faster speed. Okay. And I don't know what's going on there. I don't know why this guy is not going. Why are they going first? Ouch. And I lost again. I don't know what happened there. Sucks. It just sucks. 3 in a row while I start to film. Terrible. I may just have to skip over. I also wanted to show the guild brawls and how those have changed as well. But will show me losing one more game, I guess, to one of my guild mates. Speaking of guild brawls, it doesn't look too good for me because I had planned on a sneak attack and I don't have a sneak attack. And I just think it's not going to go terribly well. They've got headwinds, and I went heavy on ranged attacks, so it's just not going to end well. So there you go. 4 losses in a row. Maybe I'll drop down to Gold League and start winning a game after all of my capture rate goes away. Let's go to guilds, and I'll show you in the last brawl, it was extremely hard, and we didn't do so well, but I did quite well. So you can see that I actually can win games. And we earned 1,000 merits, and with those 1,000 merits, I got some gladiator cards. When I did the testing, they gave us 5,000. And in the store, in the shop, if you go to shop now, you can go to the guild section, and each of these gladius cases are 2,000 merits. So I got 2 to begin with because they gave us 5,000, and then I had 1,000 left over. And with the 1,000 that we got from this last brawl, I was able to grab 1 more case. So that means that I have 15 gladiators because I got 3 gladius cases. And it says here that each one holds 5. So let's go into the cards, and you can click here to gladius. And you'll see that I got 1 epic amongst all those. And so I'm pretty excited to use them next time in high mana games. A 5 with 12, kind of a slow card, just kind of a heavy hitter, no other cool abilities besides the general bloodlust, which means if this card kills someone, all of its stats improve by 1. So the other ones that I've been enjoying was I actually really did like this red card last time. Which one was it? This guy. Was it the Gorth? I can't remember. I liked the Gorth. No, it was this black one. I actually played a couple games with this one because it had 12 health. And I'm excited for the one that has 12 health and a 5 attack. So, as opposed to 12, 2, and a 6 mana. I was hoping for a gold card because I do have a gold deck, so I could have helped my guild mates by playing a gold tournament. But I'm obviously I played a normal tournament because I don't have a gold gladiator yet. That would have been awesome. So I could show you one of these games that we played, I guess. I actually don't know how to show them, so that's the problem. I'd have to be there doing it live, I suppose. This animation takes way too long, and they've said that it's probably going to be shorter next time. We can look at one of these that I won. Let's just watch the first one and see if this is one of the ones that I had a gladiator in there. I did. This is one of the ones. So I put the gladiator up front and stacked it with some low mana stuff behind, I believe. Just filled it with a ton of cards. Um, I obviously did pretty decently. Their lineup hoped of me not attacking in the background. I'm just heading and attacking this shielded guy, but attacking him with magic really did the trick. And then he resurrected him, but I had magic. So, and then afterwards, you can see the bloodlust happened. All the stats improved by 1, but the game was already pretty much over at that point. So that was Gladiator the first time. We can watch this other one and see if I had a Gladiator in it as well. It's a green Splinter and no Gladiator in that one. Sometimes the answer is to not necessarily use the Gladiator all the time. I just wanted to go back a step and I had to rewatch that whole entire results stage thing, which is kind of annoying. We're going to watch this battle and see if I used the green Gladiator, and I did. So I had a opportunity Gladiator with just 1 attack, so it's possibility of me actually killing someone maybe is pretty low to get that bloodlust, but we're going to watch to see how it worked out. I also put the tree in the front, which is actually probably pretty interesting. It died pretty quickly. And it did kill someone, so I got a bloodlust on him 1 time. Healed him up, and he died. And I got a miss from my gladiator, otherwise I would have had bloodlust again. And a miss again because he's got a 9 speed. But luckily my magic helped out quite a bit. All I have to do is get through, and then I'm against a ranged monster. So the speed, he went with heavy speed, and the only reason I won was because of magic. With his speed, there was no way I would have not won. So it looks like we just upgraded the guild store to level 4. I want to show you what that looks like as well. Again, a lot of new features this season. And last season. So in the guild store, we now will get a 60% bonus on merit. So I would have gotten, like 200 more merits if we had already had a guild store up a little higher. So we did the store instead of the barracks. So the barracks would give us a advantage in winning, but the guild store gives us a merit bonus. So again, the barracks would have given every time we played. We don't have enough to upgrade it again, so hopefully next season we earn enough. And when we pay for that, we will get a +1 mana for all of your brawls. So just an advantage to help win. So that would be pretty cool. So our arena is at level 4 as well. So pretty soon we're going to have to, the next step is we'll do the barracks and then we'll have to do the arena to get it to 5 so that we can do these other ones, I believe. I'm not exactly sure if you can upgrade the barracks and store before the arena. Actually, it makes sense that maybe you can. So we'll see when it gets there. So I think that's mostly what's happening here in the guilds. We'll go back here, and we've seen this. We know it's results stage. This is the 3rd time seeing it. Thank you. We still have 13 hours of just looking at this screen and upgrading stuff, but then we'll start playing later. Actually, it'll just give us a day or so to just enter our people. I think these stages should be combined, give 2 days to, I don't know what's going on here, but I guess it makes sense that there's a in-between day, just kind of a rest day. It makes sense. So we can go. The reason I like playing battles before entering my events is I want to make sure that I'm playing well before I enter these high stakes events where I could earn quite a bit. If we look at this one, I'll probably play the Diamond A game first. Um, this one looks like it's going to be pretty competitive. So this is the first round. This would be my first time playing in it. I don't want to mess this one up. I'm actually maybe should do this second round. This is round 2. I'm already in the earnings. It won't take too much to get to number 16 because it looks like I'm not sure how many people advanced. So this is the final round, and it looks like there's how many groups are there? There are 2 groups, so maybe there's 20 people left. And that makes sense. It does say that I'm 20th. So I just need to do better than 4 people. Where are the top 20? I'm not sure where they're at. So I still just need to try to win every game. So we could play against Jacek, which is not easy. It's actually quite hard. One of the best players in the entire game. We're going up against him. And I think I don't have any alpha legendary. Well, maybe I do. Let's try that. Maybe I do. It looks like I do. I have 3, so that's going to be a little bit of a benefit, but I know that he has all the cards. So I don't even know how to approach this. We don't have a flesh golem, so that may not be great. The only benefit really of is the spirit of the forest. Um, I'm not sure. This is probably not going to end well. But we just need to use as many mana as we can. And then we've still got 13 left, and we still can't spend it all. What do we do? Do we put the splinter or the stone golem, the stone splitter or the stone golem? Or do we go for a sneak attack and just don't use all of our mana and just try to... We got to think differently when we're playing this guy. That is for sure. So let's give it a shot. I don't even know. Yeah, that's too bad. He doesn't play till the end of the round usually. So it's hard when you don't get the immediate feedback. But I may not be around when this round ends. So I'm a little bit worried about, I just want to make sure that they all get put in. I do leave for most of the day, so we'll see how it goes. All right, so no melee attack, and we do have divine protection. They're at 2.5 million on their alpha cards. They're pretty good. And if we don't have melee, we may want, well, this wouldn't help much. And there's not going to be a lot of magic attackers. I think I want to go with Earth again. Well, there is going to be a lot of magic attackers, is what I should have said. And there is no giant, there is no like really good non-melee buffers, except for the Earth Elemental is pretty decent, followed by the Swamp Thing. But look at it's just really odd. I don't know why these aren't getting put in. We are using a decent amount of, and I don't know why this isn't working. Okay, there we go. And we want to hide that person in there. And I don't know if I want the lightning dragon at the end or the Spirit of the Forest. They're both fast. They both have flying. I'm feeling all right about it because these two are decent buffers, even though they're not going to be able to even attack at the beginning. But that's all right. They're just there as buffers. So let's see if we even get to watch this game. Oh, we're going to be able to watch it. So some instant feedback and see if I've broken my losing streak. Let's see. We both went with Selenia, which is really nice for my lightning dragon. They've got some heavy hitters here, and they're going to be resurrecting, which is a pain. This is where I should have had this sneak attacker. That would have been nice. Let's see if I'm faster and I can destroy the gold. It looks like I'm pretty fast. All right, so my tree is going to be dead here pretty soon. And they healed themselves, which was quite the benefit to them. All right, and another heal. Dang it. And they're making good, solid work on me. But there we go. Okay, made it through. So it's 3-on-3 basically. I really need, but I've got, it's whoever can get to this guy with one guy left. Oh, I shouldn't have put my magic so far to the back. Just one more guy, and I did it. Perfect. Broke my streak, and we can assume I probably lost to Jasic, because everyone does. This is good, because I just need to win a few to make it into the top. I think there's going to be one more round. This does not say final round, so it's going to be one more day of playing. Jackie01 is another solid competitor. Let's do this. It's a 12 mana game. That's some crazy stuff. So where do I have low cards? I think it's going to have to be, well, the magic, he's at level 6, which is too bad. We need to play with the higher level cards. We could play with Selenia Sky, which would give me access. Now, where do we want to be? We could try this, but there's no flesh golem. I have a beta flesh golem. We try this one, and we have the haunted spirit, which has a heal. So now we have 4 left. So we could do a 2 and nothing, or just a 4, which is really scary to do. I'm not sure about that. And they always hit their target. Commons only. So that's our ability on that one. This one's not maxed. We could do this and red, and that means we would have the Cerberus. And then we would have 5, so we could do 2 more attacks. We could do a low speed. Or we could do the fire beetle and the kobold and just kind of attack their back line. And we have the Selenia, so it makes sense to do the kobold and the fire beetle. So we need to put the fire beetle at the end. And I feel pretty decent about that. But we don't get to see it, so that's how that works. All right, I think we've covered most things. I've done a couple of battles. I've shown guilds. I've shown rentals. We could finalize it by coming here and just hit the refresh button and see if there's anything new. So some of that 7 dropped out. Someone rented it, or they raised the price. Most likely someone rented it. I could get a hobgoblin. I already have a hobgoblin. Um, Now the other thing is to go into here and go into my rental account. At the end of last season, when the new tournaments came out and golds became really, really valuable, I took most of my golds off of the market because I figured I needed to raise the prices because they became so much more valuable. Okay, so here we go. Wow, I'm only renting out 27,000 a day. That's crazy. I was at 70,000 a day previously, but just it's suffering for the renters at the end of a season and it's suffering for the owners at the beginning because they have to go through. I guess it's not suffering, it's just annoying to have to go through and change the prices on everything. So, and I don't, yeah, I don't know. Just kind of crazy that way. So, other things that we've changed um, in the rental market or in Peak Monsters is that when you go to My Cards, let's click here, there are three views. Oh, we're already in My Cards. There's Grid, the one that maybe you were used to is right here. But now in Grid, you have all of these filters. So that was kind of the big benefit is all these filters. Someone did mention that you're missing this little fun little line that was here. Um, but all that information is still viewable. You could click on the legendary button and it would all show up anyways. So, and then we have list, which we probably should improve on in the future, but we've got a couple of interesting features coming soon. So also another fun thing is in the Explorer is we have this top holders, which is something that one of the developers on Splinterlands said, hey, can you make an interface for this? So we did. So if you look here, my collection power is ranked number 50. So I'm not even in the top 10, pretty low. 5 million compared to their 24 million. And you can try a bunch of different things. So you could look at total amount of SPS, and you can see you're ranked. I'm 50 on that one as well, which is funny. Um, there's some people that are definitely way higher. And something like this just means that there's 83 million on the Binance Smart Chain. So you're not really competing against that. That's just a contract that has the 83 million. So not a big deal there. Same thing over here with DEC, four different contracts, and then Steam Monsters itself, so which is the company, Splinterlands company account. So and then Token Converter probably is another sort of contract. So the first six aren't even there. So I'm 298th, which means I'm only 292nd. Anyways, kind of fun. So those are some of the changes. I hope you enjoyed me going through what's new and playing a couple games, losing a couple of games. Maybe we should end on a high note. Well, I mean, we did win a game, so that was somewhat of a high note. But let's try a battle. We want some of that really amazing DEC from playing 24 hours after the season ends is like the sweet spot to play in the ranked matches. But I think all the best players are playing right now, it sounds like. So low mana games can sometimes be really good with red or green. I think, well, red is our quest. So I'm going to do that. I love the Cerberus at a 4 mana. So we're definitely going to grab the chicken. We know we want the chicken. And should we try for a fast speed game? 2 3 mana cards. So we could go with 2 3 mana magic attacks, or we could try a sneak attack. I think we may want to try a sneak attack. I think that's what we're going to do here, because I knew that we had this guy here. And then, because it's a blast, we're just going to do this. We're going to put the flame monkey here and hope that he doesn't go with sneak attack as well. That would be devastating. But we do have the flame monkey to help with our speed issue. But both of these guys aren't the fastest of them. I can't remember how fast they are at high levels. They may actually be pretty fast. Ah, dang it. Dang it, dang it, dang it. He's got the thorns, he's got Mylor, this, and Akron. And this could be pretty bad. And it's going to be last stand. Let's see how it handles it. He's hoping on the thorns to really do most of his work. Ah, the blast. That's really rough. Come on. Just get through it. We did it. We did it. Way easier than I thought. Okay, that's cool. We got 190 DEC on that. Let's end on that note. We did it. We're happy. We're getting towards our quest. This is good. This is good. All right. Thanks for watching.